Hey guys, here's a follow-up on the Jacksonville, Florida, the young man that was punched and more or less beat as he was drugged from his car. So we'll watch the video and then comment.
Our coverage of the viral video showing a 22-year-old man getting punched in the face by an officer with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Thank you for joining us for First Coast News at 6. I'm Heather Crawford.
And I'm Anthony Austin. So tonight we're learning more about the officer in the video. Officer DJ Bowers has been with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office for at least 14 years.
And Riley Phillips is live now outside of JSO headquarters. Riley, I know you've been digging into Bowers' disciplinary history.
Yes, and there's little information about his disciplinary history. We do know there have been 5 complaints made against Officer Bowers since 2011, the latest one being in 2023. We're also hearing new details from William McNeil Jr. after he spoke about his experience for the first time since posting that viral video.
I fear for my life, and I know how officers of JSO are towards black men here in Jacksonville.
Speaking with ABC News Wednesday night, William McNeil Jr. shared more about what was going through his mind at the time of the now viral traffic stop.
Exit the vehicle!
The officer put his hand on his gun and out for me, so I closed my door and started recording.
The officer in the video has been identified as DJ Bowers. He works in the Patrol Division for District 5, which serves the West Side. Personnel records show 5 complaints made against Bowers. 3 of them were sustained. The first complaint was filed in 2011 for unbecoming conduct, which was sustained and a written reprimand issued. Bowers also received a complaint of unbecoming conduct in 2012 by an inmate, but that was not sustained. A citizen made a complaint about Bowers driving in 2016 that was sustained, and he received informal counseling. But First Coast News crime and safety analyst Mark Bachman says this counseling is technically not considered discipline.
The oral counseling and the written counseling are not based upon their policy, is not viewed as a disciplinary action. Now, the written reprimand is a disciplinary action. It does stay in his personnel file.
According to the file, in 2018, a citizen made a complaint of unbecoming conduct and failure to take appropriate action. Bowers was exonerated nearly 2 months later. The last complaint made against Bowers was in 2023 for failing to conform to work standards. This complaint was sustained and Bowers received formal counseling. Bachman says Bowers' disciplinary file does not appear to point to a larger problem.
There's not a consistent pattern of a type of physical abuse to anybody or...
There's not a consistent pattern. How many outbursts is required before a person is fired? If you only rob a bank one time, are you considered a bank robber? All it takes is one time. We just watched the same video where the man hit the guy in the face inside the car and then punched him again on the outside of the car. This guy's not resisting. Now, he may have shut his door. He says that the officer put his hand on his gun. We don't know. We don't have that on camera. Was the man in fear? You've got a man with a full-grown beard. He's not dressed in a full-dress uniform. Could it be somebody, a thug, that's bought a surplus police car and pulling people over on side roads? Anything's possible. You tell a man that he don't have his headlights on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's what you stopped him for? No pattern of behavior? Guys, 1 strike and you're out. When you have a videotape, this is not like some of those complaints that's unsubstantiated. This is not a complaint, a written complaint where it's one person's word against the other. This is actually on a video, and videos don't lie. You see what you see. You see what happened. And what happened was this young man was abused. I don't care if he didn't get out of the car or what this young man did. I don't care what he did. The bottom line is the police officers are supposed to be of higher quality, higher standards, higher morals and character. Did the police officer act appropriately by hauling off out of anger and punching this man? This was not a self-defense move. This was not somebody who was in danger. Do you really think that 120-pound, 22-year-old kid was going to whoop 5 police officers?
aggressiveness.
Bachman says JSO could look at all of these.
Aggressiveness. I don't know how much more aggressiveness he could show right there on that videotape than what was just shown.
Incidents as they carry out their administrative review into McNeil's arrest.
They know him, and they looked at him, and depending on how egregious or what was really tied into that, if there was some excessive force claims, they may view that and tie it with this.
Some excessive force claimed. Did you all hear that hit? Did you all just hear that? Now imagine that's your dad or your son or your brother. Imagine that. See, that's what people fail to look at. Guys, for police officers, we deserve the cream of the crop. Every state, every agency, every county, every city, we deserve the cream of the crop. Pay these guys what they're worth, because we need law enforcement. But we don't need street gangs. We don't need thugs. That is nothing more than a thug with a badge. When you haul off and sucker punch somebody sitting in their vehicle because you're upset, because he wanted a supervisor, he wanted to make sure that the man behind him with blue lights, standing there with a full-grown beard, and I don't want to get insulted.
And Officer Bowers has been stripped of his authority while he awaits the outcome of that administrative review. McNeil and his attorney are calling for Bowers to be fired. Bachman tells me at a minimum, Bowers' actions warrant some sort of training or formal discipline. Live in downtown Jacksonville.
You can't train character. You can't train integrity. You can't train morals. Jacksonville PD has plenty of training. Every police agency across the country has training. But the first thing people want to blame is, oh, let's have more training. Let's write them up. Guys, when you have this happen, you have no choice but to fire the officer. This man is not cut out for police work. This man is not cut out to deal with the public. If he gets that upset over a person that won't exit his vehicle. This kid had no criminal record until they put a criminal record on him. He's now been arrested for the rest of his life. Whatever job he puts in for, he's got to put down where it says, have you ever been arrested? He has to say yes. And they give you about an inch line to put what happened. Try to explain being arrested when you're an honor student with a scholarship going to college. You did nothing wrong other than ask for a supervisor to make sure that these were legitimate police officers and everything was on the up and up. And even if he didn't, even if he violated the law, the police officers are held to a higher standard. They're not supposed to let their personal feelings get in the way of doing their job. The boy took a beat down. He took a beat down by several officers, not just one. His head was driven into the asphalt by another officer, and then he was pushed face down. He was pushing force behind his head. Some people says, oh, this is racial. This is not racial. You had at least 2 black cops there. You've got at least 1 black sheriff that's in charge. Catch you next time, guys. I just wish our officers would do better. We deserve better. We need police, but we need good police. We need police that's there to protect and serve, not to bully, not egotistical, but to be there for the people.